Now, by contrast, Collins Online Dictionary defines laissez-faire as the policy which is based on the idea that governments and the law should not interfere with business, finance, or the conditions of people's working lives. This is a correct definition for laissez-faire. Those who hold to the doctrine of laissez-faire capitalism are against government interference. And capitalists throughout the world have this mindset. These people believe laissez-faire capitalism would be beneficial to the system because of the fact there would be no government interference, and as a result would allow the system of laissez-faire capitalism to operate uninhibited by government. This is the direction in which Republicans are attempting to guide the regulated system of capitalism in the United States, but it will never happen. And this explains why Republican administrations are always rolling back government regulations when they are in power. Laissez-faire capitalism does not exist in the United States. And this is a good thing, because laissez-faire capitalism would have unintended consequences for the free market, which I'll cover later in the lecture. Regulated capitalism is what exists in the United States. Now, even though laissez-faire capitalism doesn't exist in the United States, the system of regulated capitalism in the United States benefits the rich to the detriment of the poor and middle class. The system of regulated capitalism in the United States exploits and oppresses people. As a result, corporations have run roughshod over the poor and middle class. For example, corporations have poisoned residents of communities through poisoning groundwater and waterways with wastewater, and as a result have been caught and sued, resulting in multi-million-dollar settlements for residents of those communities. Regulated capitalism is a necessity, and as I just stated, the system of capitalism that exists in the United States is regulated capitalism, and it's mixed with socialism, which is covered in our lecture entitled The United States, Socialism and Regulated Capitalism, which covers the hybrid economic system of socialism and regulated capitalism that exists in the United States. Now, for the purpose of today's lecture, I'm going to cover regulated capitalism, and I'm also going to cover some history of capitalism and its ties to imperialism. First of all, let me provide proof that regulated capitalism exists in the United States, and laissez-faire capitalism or free market capitalism does not exist in the United States. And I'll do this by simply addressing some of the ways the United States government directly impacts the market, thereby keeping the United States from experiencing some of the unintended consequences that would result from laissez-faire capitalism. Now, the following examples irrefutably prove government-regulated capitalism in the United States. And this first example, in and of itself, debunks the theory of laissez-faire capitalism or free market capitalism in the United States. The Federal Trade Commission, located online at www.ftc.gov, states the following information in the Bureau of Consumer Protection section. The FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection stops unfair, deceptive, and fraudulent business practices by collecting reports from consumers and conducting investigations, suing companies and people that break the law, developing rules to maintain a fair marketplace, and educating consumers and businesses about their rights and responsibilities. The strategic goals for the Federal Trade Commission are listed in a section entitled About the FTC and reads as follows: prevent unfair and deceptive practices in the marketplace, prevent unfair methods of competition in the marketplace, advance the FTC's performance through excellence in managing resources, human capital, and information technology. The history of the Federal Trade Commission is listed in the section entitled Our History and reads as follows. The Federal Trade Commission was created on September 26, 1914, when President Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Trade Commission Act into law. The FTC opened its doors on March 16, 1915. Our mission is to protect consumers and promote competition. Now, this information in and of itself proves that laissez-faire capitalism or free market capitalism does not exist in the United States. And as I stated earlier, this is a good thing. Regulated capitalism is a necessity. And even with the regulation, the system of regulated capitalism exploits and oppresses people. Republicans always talk about the free market as they roll back regulations when they're in power. But the mission of the Federal Trade Commission proves undoubtedly that laissez-faire capitalism or free market capitalism does not exist in the United States. Remember, laissez-faire calls for no government interference in laissez-faire capitalism, which is also free market capitalism. The Federal Trade Commission is a United States government regulatory agency, and the job of the Federal Trade Commission is to oversee the market, looking for corrupt corporations, while working in the best interest of the consumers it works for. Because at any time, corporations could become corrupt and attempt to take advantage of consumers and the market. We'll stop here for today, and we'll pick it up in the next video.